All I want is to take my son surfing.
Don't kid yourself now.
So I'm going to start with the most important question up front. I've been asking this of everyone I've been speaking to in the last 2 months. Do you have a favorite movie theater and why?
There's a place down the street. That's one reason why I like it. It's just like a 5-minute drive. It's called Cinnabar in Las Vegas. And I go there because they love movies and they give you a nice seat and you can order whatever you want. You can get your popcorn, you can get your hot dog, and you can watch this movie that just came out, or you can get up and go to another theater and watch that movie that just came out. And I did that with Barbie and with Oppenheimer, and that was a great day. And I went and saw Godzilla -1 there. And I went and saw the new Looney Tunes movie there. And I just have a lot of fun, and I feel like it's a home away from home.
I'm so curious what you're like to see a movie with. Do you actually enjoy, like when you're watching a film, can you forget about the process? Or do you sometimes like see how they're filming something and you know what I mean? Like enter the actor brain.
It's impossible for me to forget about the process unless it's something so uniquely divorced from what I do, like an animated movie, like the Looney Tunes movie, or maybe it's a film from another country and it's a different language. But by and large, I'm watching the acting, I'm watching the cinematography, and I'm thinking about the work, which is why I generally don't go to movies to relax.
Sure. Jumping into The Surfer, one of the things that I love about the film is the way it keeps the audience off balance. And what was that like in the script? Could you get that vibe that that's what he was going for? Or like, if you could talk a little bit about that.
Well, one of the reasons why I was drawn to The Surfer is because the narrative is so nonlinear and enigmatic and dream logic and kind of psychedelic and surrealist. And it was full of surprises for me. And I like that. I think that's fresh in my book when you have something that is unusual storytelling. The whole movie took place in a parking lot and a beach. We didn't move locations. That was it. That was interesting. That was different. That was challenging. And the character is going through such a series of degradations and humiliations that he starts the movie off one way and he becomes somebody entirely different. And I wanted it to feel both in performance and in storytelling a bit like a wild ride. Like where is this going? And have it be surprising. And that's what it felt like when we were shooting. Granted, I was working with a great group of people, the actors like Julian and Nick Kasem, and these are really immersed actors, and they're also really great people to be around. So that made it somewhat pleasurable to make. As horrific as what the character's going through and the situations are, I enjoyed working with these people.
Completely. I spoke to Julian and he told me his first day on set was the burger scene and that you guys shot it a few different ways, multiple ways, because like he wasn't really sure how it was going to play in the edit. So can you sort of talk about filming that burger scene? Because it's a great scene.
I love that scene. I'm glad you brought it up because it was Julian's first day and it was a massive scene. And we were trying to find it on the set together. And he was telling me what his ideas were. And I was sharing what my ideas were, and it took a bit of choreography with Lorcan, like when should I get back in the car? What is he going to do with the beer? And then the other thing that was going on was the flies. There are so many flies in that part of Australia, and they were all over my face and all over Julian's face. And so they became part of the scene. So we're trying to navigate the flies and do the scene work. But it's a very unusual scene, and certainly not the easiest one to begin a movie with for Julian. He starts off out of the gate with the hardest scene in the movie, but I'd never seen a scene like that before in another movie. So I was excited to to have at it to see what we could come up with. And I was very happy with the results. I'm trying to think of anything specific that happened. I think he made the decision to just sort of like turn around and pour the beer from the outside the side window so I could see it, and I'm trying to ignore it. But it operates on a lot of levels, that scene. Like, he's talking about my childhood, who my father was. And I remember thinking, okay, this is probably the lowest point, or the second to the lowest point for the surfer character. But how can I still give him, even though he's succumbing and is submissive and falling apart, how can I make sure he doesn't lose all of his dignity? And I think it was just make it clear I'm gonna go down to that beach and I'm gonna surf that break no matter what. He's not gonna let go of that. And I like that about the character. I think there's something heroic about it. I often said to them, don't explain it. Don't explain why he needs his board back. No, don't say it's because his father gave it to him. It has nothing to do with that. He just simply wants his board back, and he will stop at nothing to get his board back. Keep it enigmatic. Keep it like Rosebud, mysterious,
Sir, I completely agree. I'm just about out of time, and I have to ask you one other question. I'm incredibly excited for the Spider-Noir series, which I'm not sure if you're done filming, but what can you tease people who are just like me, who are very excited to see you play this character in live action?
So, Steve, they've got like a 5-inch thick cone of acrylic silence around me from the studio on that movie, on that show. I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed especially the actors I was working with, but they won't let me talk about it. I can't say word one about it. I mean, they're keeping it very close to the vest.
That's so funny that they told you that, but something in this day and age, I totally get it. I'm looking forward to talking to you about it whenever it comes out. Thank you for your time.